seemed like the turning 3 offensive rebounds late that you was able to get off free throws. That really made it seemed like that made a difference. But you came in on a high because you knocked off Liberty. Just that you feel that you are in a point where you are starting to get your rhythm and starting to move forward like you like to.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're definitely, just building chemistry. I think we know, I think we're just clicking, we're definitely gaining confidence from our wins, but I think it's just the more that we play together, the more that we build chemistry and we're just going to look better, like we know where each other likes the ball. We know, all those little things are just starting to help us. And yeah, I think we're just also gaining experience. We have a lot of rookies, so as they play more, they're going to get more used to the W. And I think that's also helping.
All right.
She answered it, yeah.
All right, we'll go to Zoom.
Jen? Hey, y'all, congrats.
Jen?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, great. Hey, guys, congrats on the win. Kiki, the camera panned to you saying something in the huddle after the game ended. What was kind of your message to the group?
Just the way that we fought in the second half. We didn't have the best first half, a lot of turnovers, and I kind of started that. So the big thing that we said at halftime was like, obviously we can do better defensively, offensively, but half of their points came off of our turnovers. So even if we don't fix anything, but we can eliminate turnovers, like we have a great shot of winning this game. So I feel like in the second half, we kind of just went back to it's a 0-0 game. We know what we need to do. We need to take care of the ball. And I think the biggest thing is like we never lost sight of our togetherness. Coach Sid always says that, but I think we really did a great job of that. Sonia was calling us back into huddles, Michaela. And I think, it was a gritty team win. They're the number one team in the league, and, it's hard to play on the road, and we got 3 wins on the road. So we're really excited.
And kind of picking up on that for either of you guys, it wasn't perfect on the stretch, right? There were a couple missed free throws, fouling the 3-point shooter, but you guys pulled it out anyway. Like, how do you, fair. How do you feel like you each personally and the team as a whole kind of responded in those moments to help you guys get the win, even with those things happening?
I think we just stayed composed. I think we've been in a lot of close games this year, and I think they're just starting to, add up. We're gaining that end of game experience and knowing, we've been in this position before. Things don't always go our way, but at the end of the day, we just have to stay composed. And just move on to the next thing we have to do, whether that's to get the rebound, score, get a stop. Just next play mentality and knowing like we're okay.
Last one for me, Cody, career high 15 points for her. How much of a boost do you feel like she gave you, both with her scoring and just kind of the toughness and the physicality that she brings?
I think Cody is great both sides of the ball. She's an aggressive offensive threat, and then defensively, like she doesn't need any switches. Like she can stay with her man. She can guard 1 through 5. So I think just her energy off the bench, and she's very vocal even as a rookie. I think every single game she's just getting more and more confident, more comfortable with what she's doing out there, and she's very fearless. So I think she's been great for us, and she was huge for us today.
Thank you. Deidre?
Hey, ladies, congrats on the win. With today being the 30th anniversary of the first tip-off of the WNBA, I just wondered if you could talk about the importance of having a former player like Barbara Turner on the coaching staff.
Barbara. I could go on and on and on. I think one, as a person, as a coach, she's incredible. But for myself, as in my position and having a position coach who has played in the league and done things that I'm trying to accomplish, it's really impactful. She's able to tell me things that she was able to do successfully or things that she's seen over the years of great players and things that I can add into my game. But I think it's just huge. Like when you have, there's a bunch of coaches around the league as well who have played, but I think when you have that, like, firsthand of someone who has done what you want to do, it's one of one. You can't replace that. And she's just a great like energy for our team. She pours so much into us. So again, I think it's just awesome. I'm very blessed to have her as my coach.
And then one last follow-up. Can you both just talk about what it felt like, Kiki, you getting that huge rebound, and then Sonia, you hitting those huge free throws to seal the game?
I think it's just a determination. I kind of said this after we played the Liberty, but we were very intentional from the beginning of that game of like, we're going to win this game. We're going to give it our all. I don't think we had that at the beginning of this game, but we still had that intention of like, we can beat this team. Like, we weren't scared that they're the number one team. Like, they're professionals just as we are. So again, I think it's just that grit. Like, we were super gritty today, and kind of doing whatever it takes. I feel like I missed a few bunnies in the fourth quarter that I really wish I could take back, but I couldn't hang my head. I have to kind of go next play mentality. And I shout out my teammates for just pouring into me and telling me like, next play, next play, next play. And I think we all did that today. There's so many things that we would love to take back, but we kind of just had a next play mentality.
And Sonia,
Oh, sorry, what was the question? The free throws?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just tried to, stay composed, know that I shoot a lot of free throws every day. You know, it's something that I can make. So just try not to let the nerves get to me. And yeah, I think I was just happy that I was able to hit them and take some pressure off of us on the defensive end.
Thank you.
Sophie?
Hi, ladies. Sophie Dumont here with the Ballers Magazine. Congrats on the win. Kiki, I'll start with you. You alluded to this earlier, three road wins, against some tough teams. You guys showed that poise. Just what does this stretch reveal about this team and what you guys are building with the Mystics this season?
I think it takes time to get to where you want to go. And that's something that our coaches have stressed to us. Like the first month of May, it was kind of hard, kind of having back-to-back losses. And even this month as well. But our coaches told us like playoff contending teams don't happen in May. Like it's every month. You just want to get better each and every month. So kind of looking at the season as month to month to month rather than we lost X amount of games or we have this many more games to go. So I think it's just a comfortability. We're all getting more comfortable with each other, getting more comfortable with the plays. And then also, like we've played these teams already a few times. So we're just more comfortable and kind of know KYP and player tendencies. So I think we're just on the up and up. We don't want to get too high on this and we don't want to get too low on losses as well. You know, we play Minnesota again at home and they're going to bring everything. So kind of celebrate this, like, we're on the up and up, but, understand it's going to be a grind the rest of the season.
And then Sonia, for you, you guys kept, Minnesota to 4 shots from beyond the arc. Just what was working defensively? What did you like about the ways you guys guarded just that 3-point scoring from the Lynx?
I think we were very intentional. We know that they have a lot of good shooters. So I think we were just really trying to still be in the gap, but also know that they're a great 3-point shooting team. So we have to get out and at least contest it and just make every shot that they take as hard as possible. And I think we just did a good job of doing that.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll start with Charles.
Well, I defer my questions because I'm not writing the game. So
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Well, online.
Oh, yeah. So we'll go to Zoom. Jen?
Hey, Sydney, congrats on the win.
Thanks.
Down the stretch, tight game. It wasn't perfect, a couple missed free throws, the fouling, the three-point shooter. But what did you like about how your team responded in those moments to be able to come out with the win anyway?
Yeah, I think some of the experiences that we're having, I know I'm a broken record in terms of the games and the reps, but there's no replacement for that. And so they're just getting valuable experience and clutch moments. And now it's where maybe 80% of what we were saying in the huddles might have been like fresh and new. Now it's getting to like 50%. They're already beating us to it in terms of like, coach, how do we want to switch this, or, which play here, or, and so it's you just kind of see the confidence and the engagement there, adding to what we're doing in our gym. You know what I mean? So it's all part of it. It's not just the games. It's all the moments in between, the film sessions, the team meetings, player development, and I think that's what I would say. I would just signal at the end is like some of that stuff is starting to show, and so yeah, we've got a lot of young pros who are getting better.
And with just that progress of not having to say as much new stuff, like how much does that kind of expand what you can do as a coach at end of game and like things that you can install or add on compared to earlier in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think we still have to meet them where they are. So, as they pick up more, we just add to their plate, Jen. I mean, that's really what it is. We just keep adding more and more because, we do have some experienced players, like Kira can take the reins in the huddles, Mick as well. So we're meeting everybody where they're at. And so I just think our job doesn't stop. We're here to serve them. And, maybe, like I said, the game experience they're picking up on their own, but maybe some tweaks, some reads, different things. We're going to continue to do our job and help them out.
And then just wanted to ask you about Cody real quick, career high 15 points from her. How are you just seeing her kind of settle into what she's being asked to do, and particularly the parts of that are maybe different than what she was used to in college?
Jen, she was coached really well at two different programs, at Ohio State and Ole Miss, and she's got a physical presence. She plays hard. I think the thing that I just want to call out is her coachability. I mean, she really, really wants to improve. She takes to coaching. She takes to feedback. Constructive, positive. Like she really wants to be a good player in this league, and I think her openness to being guided, whether it's by coaches, but also her teammates. I think that's an extra element. There's a humility there that she has where she's got some swagger on the floor, but some humility in terms of like learning the game and learning the W game, I should say, that is really, really impressive and reminds me of a younger Kiki and a younger Sonia who, like, very early on in their career, they were sponges, and Cody seems to be tracking the same way.
Thank you.
Doug?
Hey, Coach, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
It's games played out similarly, I think, to New York and Minnesota. You guys coming up with plays down the stretch in the fourth quarter, Kiki stepping up. Just talk about the growth of this team in the last couple games. I mean, to win 3 on the road against some pretty good teams, the last 2, like, what does that mean for right now, but also, as you were talking before, about the building for the rest of the season and beyond?
Well, it started in training camp in the sense of like, we really want to put the work in and prepare us for these moments, and then be as wide open to, kind of learning and growing as much as possible. So I think it's a combination of that. We understood we were fielding one of the youngest teams in the history of the league. At the same time, really competitive players from winning programs. You throw Kira in there, you throw Michaela in there, and it's a fun mix. But we also know that, like, it's really, really hard to win in this league. Really, really hard. And so we've learned some tough lessons. And we're taking some of that learning, Doug, and transferring it to future performances. And that's really all I can ask, for them to remain pros along the way through the ups and downs. And right now, I see a team that really is embracing the idea of being a professional and all that it takes to do that in this league.
And just to follow up, I mean, how big is it winning these games on the road? I know you said the other day, like, you hadn't played New York yet, hadn't played Minnesota yet, but now you've beaten them both on their home courts.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard, and to rise above, the crowd and the environment. But Doug, I've asked them to be tough and together in all moments, on the road, at home, hold your toughness and togetherness, on the plane, in the hotel, like just stay connected. And when you got to look out for someone in a Mystics jersey or teammate, do that too. So I'm glad that these road games have tested that and we've shown through. And we want to bottle that up all season long.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Congrats.
Thank you.
Deja?
Well, congrats on the win, Coach, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
You've spoken before about putting together 4 quarters. These last 3 games on the road, would you say that this is a little bit closer to putting 4 quarters together for the team?
Yeah, it's massive for us. It's really, really big. We've had, you can tell in the second quarter, in the third quarter, we're feeling good. We're getting stops. We have a flow offensively, and maybe we just get a little lax, or we lose a few possessions and bang, 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 the other team has scored, and then all of a sudden it's a 1-possession game, or we're losing. And I think just understanding that there's absolutely no quit in this league. All these players are just so good, just so good, and the coaching is elite. And so the combination of the talent and the coaching means that we can't relax. We've got to play it all the way through. So we talked about our own games and maybe having some lulls. We're not putting 40 minutes together. We've also referenced other games that we see in the league and how people can kind of be storming back or lose a big lead. And that just adds to the learning curve of, like, you got to put 40 minutes together minimum to try to steal a win, because that's the challenge.
And one last follow-up. With tonight being the 30th anniversary of the first ever WNBA game tip-off, can you just speak to the importance of having former players such as Barbara Turner on the coaching staff?
Yeah, I'm just glad that the league committed to having former players have a place in our league, whether it's on coaching staffs, like you mentioned with Barbara Turner, whether it's in leadership roles on and off the court. We don't have anything if we don't have our players, and that's certainly present without a doubt. And future, boys, there's some really good talent, but the greats, we're standing on the shoulders of greats. And so BT has put in her time, Lindsay Whalen, Rebecca Brunson. I mean, you can go on and on of these players. And I mentioned ones that are coaching, but whether it's coaching, commentating, leadership roles, the whole deal, seems like the W is set a bit of a standard there. That is wonderful for women's basketball, professionally, collegiately, the whole deal.
Thank you.
And we're going to end with Sophie.
Hi, Coach. Sophie Dumont here with the Ballers Magazine. Congrats on the win. Wanted to get your thoughts on your team's performance on the defensive end from beyond the arc. The Lynx, you have K Mac, Nia Coffey, Courtney Williams. Just what did you like about the way you guys defended from beyond the arc tonight?
Yeah, we were really focused in understanding how good they were in terms of offensive rebounding. That's something I was really trying to stress. And you saw there in one of the possessions in the second half where they got 3 in a row. I mean, they just, kept hammering the boards. And then their shot making. We just knew, they're just incredibly efficient at all 3 levels, at the rim, mid-range, and from 3. So as much as anything, play and pattern recognition to know what's coming. That's something that we're adding to our bag. And then just contesting, and not giving up too many dare shots and too many wide open looks. Sometimes that's the best you can do. And I thought for the most part, we were pretty good in that area.
And with the quick turnaround facing again, Minnesota on Wednesday, just what are some adjustments without watching film that you would like to implement for your team?
Yeah, so it's probably going to start with us with turnovers. We just really want to get those under control. We had a really slow start to start the game. We were loose with the ball, so we're always going to be focusing on that. But we're not only going to look at our weaknesses. We're going to look at our strengths, and really excited about some of the things that we did this evening. But we will enjoy this until midnight. 1 minute past midnight, we turn the page. And so I don't want to evaluate too much for next game. Want to enjoy this with our team and get home safely. And then we'll turn the page and know that we'll be faced with a really hungry Minnesota team when we see them in a few days.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Charles Hall from Minnesota Sports Recorder. I write for this Black newspaper here. So
Yeah.
You and Tyler are the only two Black coaches in the league this year. Cheryl Reed was asked about that, and somebody mentioned about a Rooney Rule possibility in this league.
Yeah.
If you can speak a little bit on a league that's 70% or more Black females and only two Black coaches, hopefully that will improve.
Yeah. I think it should, and it will, in a league that's always been committed to diversity and representation, empowerment of a lot of folks, and I think with the players, as much as anything, there is a pipeline there of coaches that are coming along the way. So it's a matter of time, but maybe the time is, if maybe not, I wouldn't say maybe, it is now. And so I am very, I know that I'm very blessed to have the role that I think I have the best job in the league. And I think all of us are incredibly grateful for the positions that we're in. But we know we won't have these jobs forever. And we also know that there are really good coaches in the pipeline who will be head coaching in this league very soon.
You talked about Barbara Turner as on your staff. You see her to be a future head coach?
Yeah, of course. I mean, without a doubt. I mean, the experience that she's had in both the W and in the NBA, coaching wise, but also like a very healthy playing background. Not only in the W but overseas. She's seen a lot. She knows the players and she's seen the schemes. And I think Barb, along with a number of other former players, are right there for their moment.
Anything else, Coach?
No, that's it. That's
Happy
it.
Father's Day.
Yeah, same. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Take care. Thanks.